Hello and welcome to week 6 of our weekly workflow here at Novi. I'm Scott Easton and thanks again for joining. So this week we've got a really good one. Apache wound up giving us a snapshot into their machine learning practice. So they've been working pretty hard on trying to understand what a optimal wells per section would be. So looking at optimal spacing and frac designs. And they detail a number of different recipes in here. Most importantly, they looked at some acreage that they have kind of in the southwest corner of Midland County that caught my eye. They're advertising a 45% uplift in terms of their per 1,000-foot lateral productivity. So pretty important uplift here, and I wanted to get a sense for what I could see in terms of what they're doing. So having said that, I've loaded up my productivity over time dashboard. I'm looking at per zone, how productive in the first 6 months is the average well. So you can see, the Wolfcamp B here is a little bit more productive in the first 6 months than, say, the Wolfcamp A or the Lower Sprayberry. And that's a trend that just kind of reversed itself in the last couple of quarters. So the other thing that I found interesting is similar completion designs through these zones. Lateral length is a little bit smaller for Sprayberry, but the Wolfcamps are kind of right on line. And the proppant loading is pretty consistent between the two Wolfcamps, a little bit less for the Lower Sprayberry. So let's take a look. Apache was very clear. We're talking Wolfcamp B in this scenario. And so I'm going to take a look not just at that zone, but what the different operators around them are trying in the same relative acreage. So they are kind of in this southwestern corner of the county. So by highlighting them, I can really quickly start to see some key relationships. So Apache, this is what their completion design looks like. This is normalized per lateral foot. And so you can see they're a top dog in the area. You can also see lateral length and proppant amounts they're investing in their wells. And they recently kind of went up to about 4,000 pounds per foot, which is quite a lot for proppant loading. Compare that to what, say, an Exxon's doing, and you can kind of see there's a little bit of kind of meeting in the middle here. So Apache's kind of coming down to Exxon's proppant loading here, and Exxon's rising to meet it as well. So it looks like we're kind of optimizing between the two of them, and Exxon's getting great results here as well. So let's flip this over and try and get a sense for the second aspect of this conversation, and it's the spacing. So again, looking at Wolfcamp B, I'm going to take that particular area that we were looking at previously, so just that kind of southwest corner, and what they're saying in terms of spacing seems to hold true. So as I go to the right, as I get a little bit more spaced out, the average production is actually getting higher, as well as the spread is condensing a little bit more as well. You can see towards the bottom, if we were looking at how Apache is spacing relative to an Exxon, this is what the two look like. Typically speaking, when we see someone up here, they're spacing out wider, drilling less wells, and they might be willing to kind of market this acreage. The other thing that I can look at is, given these two competitors here in this area, if I wanted to see where kind of the bigger results are, I've gone ahead and cross-plotted by this 30-year EUR for oil. And so these are where all of kind of the biggest results are. I can see that there's a lot that offset it to the right. Summits offset it a bit to the left there. But it would be interesting to kind of see if I could assign some of the completion techniques of other companies. But it looks, in this case, it looks like Apache has a good recipe for proppant loading, and spacing. We might be able to squeeze a bit more out of that. It'll be interesting to see if this trend continues for them of down spacing just a bit more to kind of reach what Exxon's doing. Okay, thanks again for your time, and we'll see you next time.